Okay, I'm sorry, it's gonna be a little loud in here. But it is time to move the quail out. It has been a week since the first one hatched, and they're already getting crazy enough that the little tub, the little tin thing, is too small for them. So we need to move them out into the bigger enclosure. Just how crazy they're getting. Okay, so I've got their heating plate here. I'm gonna be putting them in the greenhouse, but the problem is we are getting like below freezing temperatures as the high right now because it's February in Idaho. So I'm gonna put this in there, and I don't have two, so I'm actually gonna be putting a heating lamp in there as well, just to make sure that they stay warm enough. Because yeah, like right now in the greenhouse it's probably about 40-45 degrees, but outside it's like 20. So yeah, I just want to make sure that they stay safe and that they're warm enough and that we don't have problems with that. So I'm just gonna have two heating sources for them. Okay, so this is like super cold, so I'm just gonna run it inside and let it warm up, because I don't know what could happen to the bulb if I just plugged it in like this. Grow before it gets... I guess we'll give that a try. I'm gonna go get the temperature gauge and also see if I can find a temperature gun so that I can check exactly what the temperature is, especially underneath the heat plate, to make sure that it is warm enough. And this is a geothermal greenhouse, so it does stay above freezing even when it's negative outside. It stays above freezing, and which is really nice. So yeah, you know what, we're just gonna see how this goes. I have kept chicks in here before, but normally it's been at least like March or April when it's starting to rain, get in the 40s, and so then in here it's like at least 60 degrees or mid-50s, so I don't know. Again, we'll try it out, and I'll definitely probably come check on them in the middle of the night just to make sure that they're not freezing to death. So we gotta make sure that we have a backup plan in case they are freezing. Okay, we unfortunately do not have a temperature gun, but I got this little Therm Pro. It's my sister's. She's letting me borrow it. I probably won't give it back because it's going in the quail cage, the quail enclosure. So we're just gonna put this in here. I'm gonna put it right there. The humidity is like super high in the greenhouse, which is good for the baby quail. Super high. I mean, it's like 40%. That's high for Idaho, okay? So I will come back in a few minutes to see how good it is. I'm gonna put it underneath the heating lamp first, and then I'll come back later and put it underneath the heating plate, and then see how See how good that works. Okay, it's been a couple minutes. The humidity is about 38%. The temperature is 80 degrees, and it's not changing. That's good. For quail chicks, they're about, well, for those who saw my last video or that follow me on social media, which you should, go follow me on Instagram. Quail chicks, or this hatch that I had was like super weird. So the first quail, I had 2 quail that hatched in the middle of the night, Monday night. And then I had quail that hatched on Saturday. So there are like half my little tiny flock is like super tiny. And then the other half is, well, normal size for being a week old. So yeah, it needs to be about 85 to 90 degrees. Not in the entire enclosure. It should not be 85 to 90 degrees in the entire enclosure. They should have the opportunity to go on the other side of the enclosure so that they don't get overheated. But definitely like where they sleep, underneath the heating plate, it needs to be 85 to 90 degrees. So we're gonna stick this underneath the heating plate and see. We'll give that a few minutes and then see how that does. Alright, let's see what it says. It actually says that it's a little colder in there, so that's not good. I do have another heat lamp, so I think I'll go get that and I'll put another one in here. Maybe. Well, we're gonna leave it for a few minutes. I'm gonna go in, eat dinner. We'll come back out and see what's changed. Okay, so good news. I am checking the temperature and it is 89 degrees. Just where the lamps are. So good news, I can move the quail out here. It is warm enough. So hopefully it stays that warm though. But need to check and see underneath the plate. It definitely feels colder underneath the heating plate. We'll put this under here and see. I can also adjust the heating plate so it's lower, so it's a little warmer, but I also don't want the quail pressed up against the top of the heating plate. So yeah, let's go get the little baby chicks so we can move them in. Alright, we got the baby chicks. Now we're gonna move them in. So unfortunately my alarm did not go off this morning. So I just woke up. It's like 7:30 in the morning. So we can go check out the quail now. I checked on them late last night. Doors are locked. I checked on them late last night and they were doing fine. But it got really cold last night. So let's go see how they're doing. Oh, look at that. Oh, they're doing really good. It is 104 down there. Sheesh. Looks like they spent a lot of time up there, which is good. That was really, really warm. But yeah, that's great. They're doing really good. Oh my gosh. That's not good. One of them drowned in the water. Yep. That's not a good thing. That is why you keep the rocks in the water. I thought they were fine at this point, but Obviously, they weren't. That is one of the smaller ones. That's probably one that hatched on Saturday, so it was only a few days old. Gosh, that is really disappointing. Well, I guess I'll be putting some more rocks in it. But yeah, I don't know how that happened, how it fell in and it wasn't able to get out. I wonder if it was kind of weak to begin with, but that's really sad. You know, things like that just happen and just kind of gotta learn from it and move on. I thought from accidentally doing it before that I would move on, or that I would learn from it, but I guess it had to happen again. But I thought after a week of them hatching they would be fine, but that one must have hatched like early, but I mean, that must have hatched like a few days ago. But I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna make them some, like 1 or 2 boiled eggs. Like they love that stuff. And the reason why I make them boiled eggs is like, it's like a protein supplement, because the feed that I give them is only 20% protein. They need a little bit more than that, so I like to give them some eggs, and that adds some protein in there. And yeah, let's go make them some eggs. All right, day 2 of having the quail out in the greenhouse. They're doing good. Look how they're growing. Yeesh. Looks like they ate the rest of the... I give them some fermented feed. Really good for their gut. So I try to give all my animals fermented feed if I can help it. At least all my birds, because it makes it a lot more bioavailable for them. So it's also just like kind of maximizes the feed that I have, maximizes the benefits of it. And so yeah, it's really seriously worth it. It's super easy. I'll show you the little... So I just ferment them in these little jars, and super simple, super easy. And then I just give them a couple scoops a day, and they love it. Good morning, everybody. It is day 3 of the quail being outside in the greenhouse, and I'm gonna go give them some fermented feed. But it snowed a ton last night, like probably like almost 3 inches between yesterday and this morning. Kind of crazy, but let's see how they're doing. It's nice and a little warm in here, probably like 40 degrees, so it's pretty nice. But see how they're doing here. They are really thriving, I think. They're doing pretty good. I think they're excited to get more food, so let's give it to them. Alright, well, I think that is probably the end of this video, the quail have successfully been moved out to the greenhouse and they look like they're thriving. I'm really excited for that. And we're actually planning on getting some chicks, like chickens, pretty soon. And that's also going to be super fun to have quail chicks and chicken chicks. So, thanks for watching the video. Please subscribe. Go check me out on social media on Instagram and Facebook. We'll catch you later.